Welcome back to the MO Season 1 Championship. Maven here, joined by Mr. X. We're getting ready to hop into our second series of Friday here. It's going to be Prophecy versus Team Kaliber. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
This is going to be one of the closest series, I think. You know, looking at the first round matchups, definitely thought this one could go either way.
Okay.
I picked TK when we did the bracket show. Puckett picked Prophecy, made a bunch of good points. I think that Prophecy kind of matches up pretty well against TK.
Well, we'll take a look through the rosters, and actually some interesting stats over on the side here of the actual map matchups between these two. And in my opinion, it's going to be pretty back and forth. But let's take a look here. We're going to look at the Prophecy lineup real quick, give a rundown of that, take a look at some of the stats for the guys as they're getting prepped here for game number 2. Now, Prophecy, we're going to start things off. It is going to be Ricky. You've talked about, he is the AR Slayer, Ricky Remington. KD, not a lot to show there, but again, online statistics from Season 1, not always something to brag about with that.
Right, he brings this leadership to this team, you know, makes all the shots, you know, making some incredible plays around the objective. Then we have Legal. He's kind of a rising star, so to speak, in Season 1, you know. Not a lot of people were talking about him, you know, very high on him coming in, and, you know, him and Fears have made a name for themselves in Season 1.
All right, as we get going through here, we'll talk about Fears. He has historically been one of those players that's dominant in the first several months of title releases. Here we are, we're in what, month 4, and he's still rolling. This Prophecy team has been playing really well. You see the 1.03 KD in Respawn. Same KD in S&D. Fantastic stuff out of him. And Matt, tell me about Bose.
No, Bose coming over from Optic Nation's been playing extremely well since coming over. No, just dominates in S&D, plays extremely well. And then in Respawn, going to be doing a lot of your OBJ work, but sometimes he does like to, you know, flank and play a little bit different where Legal have to pick up some of that OBJ stuff.
All right, and they're going to be going up against Team Kaliber. We talked about the fact that they, mid-season or so, were able to get the team house. They just flew from the bottom up to that 6th spot and really have just been putting on an impressive performance. But here we go with Theory, first off the rip. Take a look, you see the 20% first blood percentage. Pretty efficient in the respawns. I like that 2.6 uplinks per game. He will be the support player for TK.
And he actually has the highest KD against Prophecy in the league at a 1.06.
Oh, wow.
So for this team, so in the head-to-head matchups, Looney, he's going to be doing a lot of that Slayer role for this team. You see the 1.10 KD in the Pro League for Season 1. They're really carrying the team in the Slayer department.
Yeah, and 29 per respawn is impressive stuff as well. Goonjar historically has been one of the more accurate ARs in the entire game. And we talked about the fact, what Goon are we going to get? He's been a little up and down. He either drops bombs or drops those, 18 and 35 games. But I expect he's going to show up here for this event.
Yeah, and then Sharp, obviously, the veteran mainstay of TK. He's been in TK since the beginning. 0.95 KD in the Pro League and Respawn, 1.02 in S&D, but that Respawn KD is a little bit misleading. I think he's played a lot better than what that KD kind of shows. Yeah,
Sharp's been stepping it up, and it's been a big thing for him, getting out of where he's tweeted out pictures of his internet connection. It's like 1/0.5. Now he's in the team house, and they've really been turning things around. But I want to take a look. We'll go through this together a little bit. So Hardpoint Solo is going to be the first match. It's a 36 win percentage for Prophecy, 73% for TK.
Right.
So looking out the break, looking very strong for TK. Then game 2 is going to be this. So we're going through the same game types as we are winners back around 1. It's going to be BioLab S&D for game number 2, and that's a 58% for TK, 30% win percent for Prophecy. So when you're coming out for your games 1 and 2, it's not looking pretty if you're Prophecy.
No, it's not looking pretty if you are Prof, but I think, their S&D game, pretty strong throughout all Season 1. I think you're going to look for Fears on Prof in S&D to really have to step it up. And then on Respawn, I think you're going to need a good game out of Bose. Don't think you're going to be able to beat TK if Bose slips in the slaying department.
Well, and one thing to look at, you mentioned talking about the S&Ds, how strong they've been. If this goes to a Game 5, we didn't get to it last year, but Game 5 is going to be a Riot S&D, and we've talked about how tight you think this match will be. Go ahead and just guess the record for Prophecy and Riot.
Prof was one of the best
Riot
S&D teams.
They're 10-0.
I was going to say, I thought they were 9-1, but
yeah, both good. But they are 10-0. TK on the other side is 3-9, so they've only won 25% of them. So that, if you think if it's going to come down to a Game 5, it is looking very good for Prophecy. But when you look at the matchup for the first 2 games, favoring TK pretty heavily.
Right, but if, Prof can take one of those first 2 games and extend the series, I think they can make it pretty interesting,
Well, it's difficult, too, because this is LAN.
Yes.
These are online statistics from Season 1. So do they have some value? Yes, but you still have to kind of
I think I would favor Prophecy in the uplink on Detroit.
Okay.
I think, that map would play in their favor. Legal and Fears getting in the face of the TK players playing at a different speed. I think that would definitely favor Prophecy. And then I think, that CTF on Ascend. We saw Ricky the other day. I believe it was the 2K. He just had phenomenal flag runs on that map. I would definitely favor Prophecy.
Well, they're both about 50-50 on Ascend. Pretty big advantage, though, for Prophecy on the game 3. You mentioned you like them for Uplink Detroit. They've actually won 64% versus TK's 31. I'm Mr. Numbers for some reason right now. But it is nice to look at the matchups, how they did in Season 1, how they performed in particular map. But we should be getting ready to hop into this second series in just a moment.
Well, you can kind of tell on Detroit just by team playstyles, right? TK has never been a team that's going to play really aggressive in your face. That's a map, Detroit, that, on the good side, you have to push through that school. You have to push through lockers. You have to be aggressive, all in your face with SMG play. And, TK doesn't really have anyone outside of Looney that's type of an explosive player who's really going to push those spawns out.
Well, that's why they got him. The reason they picked up Looney is they needed that explosive player. They needed that Slayer. And Looney has just come so far in the last year or so in my eyes. I mean, I guess he's been slaying at such a high level for quite a while now. But I think for me, it was still, whenever you're a West Coast player, it takes a little while until you get out of that kind of, oh, he's a West Coast player.
I mean, towards the end of Ghost, with Rise, definitely came into his own. Black Ops 2 didn't really do too much, playing a bunch of amateur teams and semi-pro teams, stuff like that. And then Ghost really kind of came into his own, mostly an S&D player previously.
It's such a change between the two casting duos. We have me and Mr. X, who have really a beautiful head of hair and fantastic beard, and then the baby faces of Puckett and Benson. Hope you're ready. This is going to be a fantastic series. Crowd, who are we picking for this one? I want to hear... Okay, never mind. I just heard Complexity yelled, and I think
Not a valid
envious.
answer. Not a valid answer.
None of those are valid.
No.
I see you down there. Nice MLG Ohio shirt, though.
Nope. When we did the bracket show, I took TK in the series.
Okay.
I'm going to completely change my mind. I think Puckett swayed me. I think
I always yell at you guys because very rarely do you actually send me the Google Doc with the actual picks. Puckett definitely sent to me, and I missed it. So I didn't get to.
Who would you take in this
series? Who would I take in this series? I am 110% going to go with TK.
Really? You're going just on the stats?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I love the stats, but I think, you compare play styles between teams.
I'm a mathematician.
I think the maps favor Prophecy. Even though the stats don't say it, I think on LAN, in this environment,
that's not a valid argument at all.
No, it is. With, with no boost, it's going to be a high-intensity matchup. We've seen Legal go get hyped in those boosts before, definitely going to add energy to the rest of that team.
Well, this is great. It's nice to see because I like, boosts are great and everything, but this is more similar. You've seen stuff, for Riot with the LCS, you have these headphones that are just much better when it comes to soundproofing, but it still gives you that open air, so you can hear the players a little bit better. It's nice for the fans. You can see them getting rowdy, getting fired up, but this is going to be an exciting one. Sorry for the delay, guys. We should be getting ready to hop into it for just a second. Again, we are going to be starting here on Solar Hardpoint.
Solar, I definitely think, Fear's going to come out pretty strong. He's got a very nice shot with that AR. Definitely expect, Goon to have a pretty good map as well, with an AR as well. It'd be interesting to see if we see some IMR use. We saw Hugh use the IMR a little bit in the previous map. At distance, definitely plays in favor.
Yeah, and this will be a fun one, especially, we saw it was basically between that third and fourth hill for the last one that we really saw the tempo change. But we got a little bit of delay here as we're getting ready. Let's start down to Puckett and Benson. Let's see what they have to say as we're getting ready to hop into the second series.
All right, thank you guys. Now, I said on the bracket show, Prof all the way.
Can I just address something?
Yeah.
Matt, you're a sellout.
Sellout?
That's the first thing. He's a sellout. He completely just changed his mind on what he said.
I like it. Well, guess what? I'm sticking with Prof.
Good analysis,
Are you sticking with TK?
I'm TK all day, baby.
All right, let's see it. Game number 1 kicking off right now as we head to Solar Hardpoint.
Good analysis, Chris.
All right, thanks, guys, as we are hopping back up here. Now, there's a good chance that I'm going to change who I pick multiple times throughout this series because I didn't actually fill out the bracket. I can pick whoever I want.
You really could.
But taking a look here, you see it there, Prophecy versus Team Kaliber. When Prophecy won the hard point in Season 1, they ended up winning the series 91% of the time. So if Prof takes this first game, it's looking very, very dominant in their favor.
Cycling through a few of the classes, we're going to see Fierce with that IMR to start it off. I kind of alluded to that a little bit towards the end when we were throwing it down to analysis. The IMR on this map can do tons of damage. At range, very accurate.
And we'll see, this first hill, you don't typically get a lot of time for either team there, as he is actually going to fall very quickly there. We have Ricky in the hill. He's going to drop as well. But we saw in the last game, they got, 30, 40 points there in the first hill because Hugh went so huge.
Right, they were able to get tons of time in that middle hill, and you're seeing this game playing a little bit different. 8 points for the Prophecy lineup. Not a huge lead at this point in the game. Still, this is how you see the first hill play out primarily.
They've got 2 players in and around glass 2 down by the hill as well. He's going to try and rotate through pipes there. He's going to lose that gunfight. Ricky here able to pick up one. They've got this pretty much locked down. He's got cover there from Bose. He's got Legal, I believe, was up there on glass, and the nade's going to come in, but he's still got it getting contested for a while. Going to have to turn around. He's got players pushing from both sides.
Yeah, and you're going to have Theory. He's going to be on the hill for TK, doing a lot of that OBJ work. We see Sharp putting up big numbers in the slaying department lately. I think that has to do a little bit with something with Goon, not playing in that type of role as we've seen in previous games. You're going to see Sharp up top with the bow, trying to hold that down as we see the hill rotate to the pipe area.
All right, and Legal going up top. He knows there is a player up there. He's got several behind, completely surrounded right now. Going to wisely rotate out back, try and pick up this player up top. Nice play there. Very patient, gets one. Getting pushed from another. Can he pick up the second? He is ultimately going to drop there to Fierce.
Yeah, very nice play there from Legal. You saw he was able to kill that player up top, which effectively broke that spawn for TK.
And you see TK is getting the time here. They have the favorable side right now as we are going to be rotating next in about 30 seconds or so to that third hill.
Wow.
But just like that, the spawns have flipped pretty much completely here. Bozeman began able to pick up one. Going to be able to get these final seconds here. Can he get Looney as well? Just seeing him inside that doorway, but is going to lose that gunfight.
We've seen Bose get off to pretty hot starts before, but not really to this extent. Through the second hill, 10 and 6. Doing a very nice job. And we talked about this a little bit before. Bose can pick it up in the slaying department at times. He kind of gets into a groove and he starts flanking and making plays outside of an OBJ player's realm. And that's when you see Legal take care of that OBJ
Well,
work.
it's a bit back and forth, but you saw Prophecy ultimately did have the favorable spawn. They were forcing TK out to parking lot. They have the backside of this locked down, and a nice 2-piece there from Bose. Can he get a third? Able to lock that down. Incredible stuff by Money Bose as he gets the 3-piece.
And that's some stuff we didn't see out of Bose on Optic Nation, but with this Prophecy lineup, they play so consistent and so together. They don't have a star player, but this lineup plays so strong and the teamwork is so great.
And you keep seeing there's 1 or 2 players that keep trying to push the backside of this hill, but they're getting shut down by Prophecy right now. They've soaked up all the time in this hill. What'll be interesting to watch is do they do the early rotation to the parking lot on this one? 20 seconds left. This is when you'll tend to see some teams rotate, but so far everyone's still flooding into the hill right now, Matt.
Right, and TK is going to take control of this hill, but you see at the top of the mini-map that the players from Prophecy are going to just rotate and give up in that last 10 seconds. I love that play, and they have that spawn, so let's see what they can do with it.
Yep, they got the player. He dropped in the hill, but was able to spawn up top. So they have 3 in parking lot, trying to pick up clutch kills. He's going to lose that gunfight, though. Bose gets a gigantic 2-piece there. Looney rotating in the hill. Let's see if they can get set up for some time here as they do have control. 3 players in around the hill, 1 pushing right side, 2 pushing from the left, and right now they're locking it down.
That kill by Looney is so huge. It was able to break that rotation. If Ricky's able to pick that up, this hill is Prophecies for the majority of the time. But because of that hill from Looney, you don't see it in the stats, but that 1 kill can be worth 30 to 40 seconds.
Great stuff there, Matt, and we'll stay on here as TK is starting to rack with the points a bit, still trailing by 8 right now, just under 6.5 to play. Legal's going to drop as well. The entire squad for TK is in the hill, and they're controlling this perfectly. Rotation coming up in 20 seconds or so, and we'll be moving to that 5th and final hill. But so far, as we're winding down through this first rotation, what's really standing out for you, Matt?
The rotations and the big gunfights from Looney. Able to rotate a little bit earlier. We usually see BAL players, primarily ARs, rotate early. We're seeing TK sending their SMG players super aggressive at those anchor positions.
All right, we'll see how this plays out. They want to get a BAL in on this ring. Fears would have been in pretty good position, but he did get taken out by Theory there. Sharp's going to push it with the BAL. He had 2 lined up, able to try and get some in there, trying to get nades in, couldn't see anything, and does get taken out. We basically got a tie game here. Still a lot of time on the clock, though, as Looney's trying to make plays.
Something I'm interested to see out of the TK guys in the second rotation of hills is they are getting bombed with stuns from the Prophecy lineup. Eventually, they're going to have to switch to Hardwire because it's going to end up hurting them in the end.
All right, well, here's Goon to the hill. He's going to drop 1 down right now for either side. Just over 5 to play. Legal loses that gunfight, gets dropped on. Sharp gets a 2nd kill as well. Can he pick up a 3rd? There it is. Sharp eaten up in the corner of the hill right now, locking it down. They have retaken the lead, up 10 points right now. Excellent stuff from Sharp there in that back hill.
And this hill, you can challenge pretty much until the end. You don't have to rotate for that middle hill because it's pretty much just back and forth scrap time.
Yeah, you're not going to get set up really well in that middle hill. I mean, we saw all done pretty well last game by WR, but very rarely you're going to see it not be back and forth. Ricky going to be first one in, tries to turn on Theory there. He actually did, I believe, trade the kill, and we'll see Goon set up on glass. He's got cover over his teammate, turns around, able to win that gunfight. That was a little bit ugly, but able to clean it up.
And you know, Goon is not having a monster game, so to speak, but this is all they need him to do. You know, we said it.
This is the opposite.
Sometimes he has those 40 bomb games, and other times, you know, he really slacks in the slaying department. He's having one of those games that, you know, he's not putting up monster numbers, but just enough as its secondary slayer to get things done.
Yeah, well, we're seeing this one still go pretty back and forth. It's going to come down to that third and fourth hill for me, as we've got 20 seconds or so remaining on this one. Just over 4 to play. Looney here in the water, saw one come out, but Theory, I believe, able to cover him, clean up that player that came in, as they should be able to get the final seconds here.
Yeah, and you saw right there, Legal, he was going to go down into that pipe area and try and wrap around, but I would have liked to see him just play for the next hill. You see, it's going to be Fears. He's going to be set up top with this bow. Going to have to win those huge gunfights, as we were talking about. You know, really, Goonjar versus Fears, and Goon is winning that battle right now, and you see that directly affecting the score.
Well, Fears, he's got vision on the flank here. He sees Theory, going to try and pick up this one. If he drops, that's bad. That is giant by Theory, as that's going to give TK control here. You can see the spawn coming on the opposite lot as they're going to start flooding in from the backside. Theory getting aggressive. Can he pick up these kills? Going to check the back door. Has the ASM1, drops on one. Not able to pick up the second. He will get cleaned up. So that's 3 down right now for Prophecy.
And those gun battles up in that top maps area are so huge, because that's really where you want to break that spawn. So you see one player, though, actually coming through the middle. It's going to be Bows. We'll keep our arrows on him, actually. We're going to go to Bows. He's going to be able to make a play here in the mid. He should be able to pick up 2. He's going to pick up 1, but just a little bit anxious right there. Didn't know who to shoot at first.
And TK's got a ton of time here. For me, that really just came down to Theory. He came from the back lot, picked up that kill on Fears up top, and since then, they have all but locked it down.
Right, they need to rotate. Prophecy, they're going to get on that right now. You see 3 players, all 4 players rotating for this next hill. Theory, though, inside. He's going to win that gun battle originally, but he's going to be taken out right there. It's going to be a huge place from Legal and Bows, and they're going to be able to secure this hill.
Yeah, they should have locked down, because there were 3 down for a second there from TK. Ricky trying to get the shots in there, gets behind the car, but will ultimately drop. Nice nade out, but not going to work. That's 3 down again for Prophecy. Fears was last alive, able to get 1. Can he pick up the second at the backside of the hill? Nade comes in, able to avoid that and get up top.
Huge plays by Fears right there. If he doesn't win those gun battles, this is a loss already for Prophecy. You know, they need to hold the rest of this hill, and then they're still going to need a chunk of time on the next one. You see, they tried to prank Acre, and they do. Theory picking up a huge kill in the back, and it's going to be up to Fears to hold this for the extended period of time, picking up his second kill on Goon. Fears just going absolutely huge right now for Prophecy.
And that was, they only had 1 person kind of covering that bottom dirt.
Yeah.
The anchor, he got killed. As soon as he got cleaned up, that gave the favorable spawn back to TK, and they're going to be rotating out, and you'll see what player is it that is going to be set up in the back lines. There's 5 seconds left, and they're going to have 3, they're going to have their whole team there.
They're going to win this rotation, and let's see.
Oh, yeah.
These are going to be the big kills over here on map. So Theory again on rotation. We keep going back to it. Theory, first one on rotation, picking up huge kills for this TK lineup.
Well, Prophecy, they lost, like you said, they lost that anchor spot, the bottom left side of the map. As soon as they lost that, it gave the rotation advantage to TK, and they're all but set up here. 1 more, can he clean this up? He is going to lose the gunfight. That one will go to Sharp. Goon, though, getting the assist. He's got 2 more in front of him, tries to dodge back, but he will ultimately drop, and Prophecy has broken this for the time being. That is one that I thought TK should have locked down and definitely got a majority of the time.
But they let Theory get all the way into the back up here, and this is a very dangerous spot because you have to focus him immediately, but it takes all of your eyes off of the side that they're spawning on. But doesn't matter, Legal's going to be able to pick up 2 kills right there, but Sharp flying in with that bow. Looks like TK's put an extra bow on for this hill.
Yeah, and this is not long, and it's going to be mathematically impossible for Prophecy to get back in this. They have, what, about a 40-point advantage, 60 seconds left on the clock. The rotation is coming now for the final hill, and we'll see who's going to be set up first. That's going to be Looney in the hill. If he's able to pick up a couple of the early ones, he is going to get dropped. There's still enough time. They've got to lock this down, but they still have 2 players in the hill here for TK.
Yeah, Prof needs to get over on that side of the map soon. You see them spawning all the way across map, the exact spot you don't want to spawn in. It's going to be Bows. Up to him. He's not able to pick up that kill, and this first respawn is going to go to TK, and I think it's because of Goonjar. 37 and 27. He had one of those games we were talking about. You know, you compare, Bal is so huge on this map, the AR dominance, and you compare Goon and Fears, and you can see Goon definitely won that one-on-one battle.
Yeah, we saw Theory. He had that big kill on on the B hard point. When he killed Fears up top, that opened it up for TK. We saw him get a couple nice early rotations, especially the one to the parking lot to give his team the spawn up top. And really just an all-around effective job by the TK side is they're going to close this one out. The final seconds ticking away. And outside of those two, we mentioned Goon and Theory, but who stood out for you positively on the Prophecy side?
On the prop side, I think, Legal had a pretty good game. He was able to win a few of those battles originally to get those spawn points. But I think, Looney really stepped up on the opposing side. Looney and Theory. Theory 31 and 33. Didn't go positive, but we saw a few times when they were holding that second hill, trying to hold that top spawn. Theory was able to break that with a stun, and then he was able to hold it for an extended period of time.
Lots of impressive stuff, and Looney's dropping, 36 and 34, also leads his team and captures. Incredible stuff there from the side of TK. I picked TK for this one, Matt. What'd I tell you? They won, what was it? I lost my stats here. I had them ready to go. 70%? Yeah, they won 73% of solar hard points. 36. Now, what you said numbers don't account for everything.
No,
they accounted for that, Matthew.
All right, well, you got that one. I actually changed my pick. I would have liked to change it back, but I know going into this second map, I definitely think S&D does favor Prophecy a little bit. You're going to look for Ricky to have a huge map number 2.
All right, well, quick commercial break. We will be back with the Biolab S&D right after.